Some wars are caused because different factions want different things. However, in this conflict, years of war were caused by two factions who wanted the same thing. The Koopa Throne. This decades-long conflict of battles, slaughter, and betrayal became known in the Koopa Kingdom as the Wars of Frozen Flames. Our story begins in the late 1300s. After a long and eventful 52-year reign, King Robert Koopa III dies. He had 5 sons who lived into adulthood, and the king divided his kingdom into dukedoms for them. The eldest of the 5, Prince Edric, Duke of Koopa Kingsland, was crowned King Edric Koopa IV. And then he died. Edric became a victim of the dreaded Black Plague. His reign of merely 30 days was the shortest reign in Koopa Kingdom history. Edric IV's heir was his sole surviving son, Prince Richard, who was crowned King Richard Koopa II at the fresh young age of 9. Richard was said to have been a vicious, cruel, and hateful child. He would torture women, children, and animals for his own amusement, and showed no respect for the people of his kingdom. As he was still in his minority, a Regency Council was set up to govern in his place, headed by Richard's 3 surviving uncles: Prince Blaine, Duke of Cayenne Crag, Prince Wulfric, Duke of Sherbetland, and Prince Tarkin, Duke of Painted Pipeland. Unfortunately, as Richard continued to come of age, he continued to grow more cruel and loathsome, eventually resulting in the uprising of Bright Valley. His uncle Tarkin was particularly opposed to King Richard and created a coalition of nobles who opposed the king. Unfortunately, this failed, and Tarkin, along with his son and heir Joseph, were executed. Among Tarkin's nobles was Prince John, the son of Prince Blaine. Blaine was able to spare his son the execution, and he was instead banished to the Bonenkraut Kingdom. Blaine later died in 1419. John was now the heir to the large dukedom his father left behind, and King Richard wasn't having any of it. He feared that John would become too powerful, so instead kept his holdings, lands, and titles, and ordered that John's children, whom he held in captivity, be put to death. Prince John was furious, and late that year, John returned to the Koopa Kingdom with an army, whilst Richard was campaigning in the Frosted Kingdom. The nobles submitted upon his arrival, and John was easily able to overthrow his unpopular cousin and take the crown for himself, being crowned King John Koopa IV and establishing the House of Cayenne on the Koopa throne. But what became of poor old Richard? Upon his return, he was captured by the king's men and placed in prison, where he subsequently starved to death as a result of John forgetting his duties to feed his valuable prisoner. John IV was met with numerous rebellions during his reign, but was determined to keep his dynasty on the throne, and with the help of his son, Prince John, was able to quash them all with ease. John IV died in 1442, and was succeeded by his son, who became King John Koopa V. John V proved to be one of the greatest warrior kings in the Koopa Kingdom's history, continuing Robert III's legacy in the 108 Years' War. With the help of his allies, such as the Duke of Sherbetland, held more Bonenkraut Kingdom land than any king since the 1000s. John V and his men were able to capture the Mad King of the Bonenkraut Kingdom, Klaus VI, and force him to sign a treaty, marrying his daughter Claudia to John, and appointed John as heir to the Bonenkraut throne. Unfortunately, fate would switch sides yet again, as on the return home to the Koopa Kingdom to meet his newborn son, John V perished. Klaus VI died shortly after, and thus it was John V's son, John VI, who would succeed the two as king of both the Koopa and Bonenkraut Kingdoms at the age of merely 9 months old. During this period, King John's 2 surviving uncles, Prince Blaine, Duke of Desert Hills, and Prince Joseph, Duke of Painted Pipeland, were appointed as regents of the 2 kingdoms until the king himself came of age. The son of Klaus VI, Prince Klaus, however, proclaimed himself Klaus VII, and thus the war continued. Prince Blaine and his chief lieutenant, Lord Richard Koopa of Sherbetland, were able to maintain a stronghold on the north of the Bonenkraut Kingdom. Once the king was of age, in an attempt to keep a strong hold over the Duchy of Bonenrot, King John's King's Claw, the second in command to the king, Alfred de la Corde, brokered a marriage between King John and its Duke Rugar's daughter Cinder, and the two were married shortly after. Shortly after this, the aged and respected Prince Blaine died, and the war effort began to decline. Richard was soon after replaced by the king and his new queen as lieutenant, being moved to the Frosted Kingdom. His replacement was Lord Sigmund Phoenix, who proceeded to lead a disastrous campaign in North Skull Ridge, resulting in fleeing back to the Koopa Kingdom and the remainder of the army being slaughtered with ease. The king's last surviving uncle, Prince Joseph, was furious about this and openly criticized the king for losing the territory, resulting in him being imprisoned. He then disappeared under non-suspicious circumstances, while the common people of the Koopa Kingdom were growing tired of the war. Lord de la Corde was able to keep the peace briefly, and took the majority of the blame for the king's actions. This was only the beginning of the devastation, however, as while on his way home, he was ambushed by a swarm of anarchists.
So in conclusion, the fall jousting tournament will take place the first week in October.
Thank you, Lord Silver. Boy, more wine. Careful!
Sorry, my queen.
Yo, Corn over here. First place, here I come.
You only won last year because your opponent forgot to feed his musty.
Hope and seethe, brother. Hope and seethe.
Lord Beerwick, you're late. We were beginning to worry you weren't showing up at all.
Apologies, my queen. There was some trouble on the road here.
Spending too much time in the brothels again, Lord Python?
No, Lord Blackfoot, it's those anarchists! They're going crazy out there. I had to break through the back door.
So, the peasants are unhappy. What a shock.
It's a bit more serious than that. They're pillaging, looting, and slaying anyone in their path.
I'm most pleased I showed up earlier today, then.
Something needs to be done!
What do you think, King John?
Is he sleeping?
Oh, but when I sleep through council meetings, it's bad.
Your Grace?
Jean!
Where am I?
The council, Your Grace.
We were just discussing the anarchists in Bright Valley.
Right, cool. So, what's first on the agenda today?
You're the king? That's supposed to be your decision.
Oh, so, first item of business, the economy. Where's the Lord Treasurer?
Executed by anarchists.
Oh. Well, let's turn our attention to the war with the Bonnencrow Kingdom. Where's Captain Claymore?
Executed by anarchists.
Well, I say this calls for a drink break. Someone fetch my wine merchant.
Executed by anarchists.
No! I liked him!
For God's sake, John, will you pull yourself together?
Don't yell at me!
3 of the kingdom's most important and respected nobles have been killed, including your own King's Claw.
Perhaps if he hadn't led the kingdom into financial ruin, we wouldn't have been in this mess.
Lord Cord was an honorable man. He did no such thing.
Lord Roderick is right. Cord paid the ultimate price for your mistakes.
What do you want me to do?
You're the king! You need to come down hard on these people.
What are you suggesting?
I'm just saying, if they're so fond of executions, perhaps they'd like to be subjected to one firsthand.
Splendid idea, Queen Cinder. Off with their heads.
Oh, I don't like executions. There's always so much blood and screaming.
Then what is your plan?
I don't know. Why don't we just invite them into the castle and talk?
You cannot be serious.
You are completely hopeless.
Why do you keep yelling at me?
Why aren't you taking care of your kingdom like you're supposed to do?
I'm trying. It's just hard, okay?
Try harder then.
Controlling the realm wasn't so hard for your father, Your Grace.
Please, King John's nothing like his father. He conquered more territory than ever before.
Like your one-eyed ass could do any better.
I could kick your 62-year-old ass with both me eyes closed.
Keep your family feuds out of my council meeting. John, assert your dominance. What is it? Can't you see we're busy right now?
Yes, apologies for interrupting, but the Duke of Sherbertland has entered the city.
What?
Who's the Duke of Sherbertland?
The king's second cousin.
And as John and Cinder are childless, heir to the throne.
My Lord of Sherbertland, how was fighting in the Frosted Kingdom? Wonderful, thank you.
Awesome! By the way, I named my kid Sherb after your title.
Oh, that's very generous of you, sir. Anyway, may I see the king? We have much to discuss. Right this way, my lord. Oh boy! I'm so excited to see Richard again! It's been years!
Lord Richard is a busy man. He's been fighting those battles in the Frosted Kingdom.
Yeah, it's got 7 children to raise.
Only 7? Lightweight.
Did he have to arrive during an important cabinet meeting?
He's entered Bright Valley with 5,000 troops beneath his banner.
So much?
What about the anarchists? Are they not attacking him?
That's the odd thing. They seem to be cheering upon his arrival.
What the hell? They didn't cheer for me! No one's going to be cheering for a minor lord of Oceanside, cousin. F you! Seafoam Castle is mine by rights!
Krampus will states otherwise.
Ah!
My cousin. So great to see you after all this time. Hey man, how have you been? Excellent, thank you, your grace. And yourself? Awesome, I finally learned how to write. Want to see a poem I wrote?
Don't, his handwriting is trash. He doesn't even know the difference between a V and a W.
You remember my half-brothers, Roderick and Theodoric Solberg? Good to see you again. I remember knighting Lord Roderick during my time in the Bonnencrout Kingdom.
I remember too. A part of me felt I hadn't earned it.
Nonsense, you're as good a knight as any.
What about me? I killed way more soldiers than him.
A knight's status is not defined by his number of kills.
It is if you want to be feared on the battlefield.
Queen Cinder?
Lord Richard, how is the Frosted Kingdom?
Very cold this time of year.
It's cold there all year.
Why, yes! We're almost pleased to hear you were coming.
You were trashing him a mere moment ago.
What? Of course not! I'd never utter a negative word about one of my overlords!
I thought you said yesterday that the Duke of North Skyline was a no-good kiss-up.
Where are your manners? Get the Duke some wine!
Crap, sorry. For you, my lord.
Thank you, good squire. Could I have some more?
That's your 5th refill in the past half an hour.
I'm thirsty!
So, what brings you back to the Koopa Kingdom, my lord?
I was waiting for you to ask. My wife and I were sent a letter informing us of the passing of the King's Claw, Lord Alfred de la Corde. Oh.
I told you we should have stayed home.
As soon as I heard the news, I knew it was my duty to return to the kingdom. So please, allow me to take my place at your side as the King's Claw. I shall not disappoint and put these anarchists in their place.
Hate to disappoint you, Lord Richard, but the job's been taken.
I'm sorry, what?
That's how it f***ing feels!
We've selected someone else to serve as the King's Claw in Lord de la Corde's place.
He hasn't even been gone for 10 days yet. Who could you possibly have chosen? Well...
Just took a vicious ass jump in the privy!
What?
This is Lord Sigmund Phoenix, the Duke of Somerset Plains.
At your service, Lord Richard?
I'm familiar. King John, you approve of this? Yeah, I guess.
Sigmund is one of the realm's longest-serving and most trusted advisors.
Are you kidding?
Uh-oh.
This man lost North Skull Ridge to the Bonnencrout Kingdom. He fled the battlefield and left his troops to die.
Yeah, but, they were dying anyway.
It's your duty to protect your troops. Lord Montagu died on the battlefield because of you.
How's that my fault?
You left. No one was there to reinforce him.
Sounds like someone's jealous he didn't get the position.
Silence, my king. Forgive me for my foul language, but this man should not be rewarded for such actions. He should be punished.
Choose your words carefully, Lord Richard. It's your superiors you're talking to.
You're no superior of mine. As far as I'm concerned, you're nothing but a dishonorable coward and a clotpoll.
I think it's time you went back to Sherbert Land, Richard.
Yeah, you overstayed your welcome. You don't want to end up like Prince Joseph, do you?
Excuse me?
John.
I think you should go, cousin. As you wish. Thank you for your service. You've been most kind. Well, I say that went pretty well.
Why didn't you defend Sigmund?
I don't know, he seemed really mad.
Don't worry about it, Your Grace. I can defend myself.
I think we all agree Lord Richard's behavior was unacceptable. You don't think he feels at least a little justified in feeling alienated?
Absolutely not! It's not his job to choose our advisors, it's ours!
Prince Joseph tried doing the same thing, and look how he ended up.
If Richard's smart, he'll stay out the valley while I'm in charge.
Finish him, Toby!
You've got this, Rob!
Hey! Gotcha! If we were in battle, your head would be on the floor right now.
Quite the spectacular fail, brother.
Whatever! It'd take way more than that to take down the killer whale. Sorry, the killer whale? You know, my warrior nickname? Come on, everyone calls me that.
I think it's a good name.
Quiet, woman!
You've never even touched a battlefield. Who calls you that? The wildlife?
It's because I move fast and deadly, as if swimming through the Arctic seas.
You remind me more of a hop seal pup.
Oh, really? What are you gonna do, hit them with a book?
Relax, Toby.
Any common boy with a sword could beat 3 of you. You're far too focused on showing off.
If you don't apologize to me this instant, I'm telling Mother! Brothers, settle down.
Fine. Sorry for your horrific swordsman skills.
Tobias, no! Children, your father's on his way.
So soon?
My love, you're back early.
Indeed so. How was the valley, Father? Warmer than hair, my boy. Gotten up to anything interesting today?
Tobias made an ass out of himself.
Did not! Lily, Rose, does Lord Berwick know you're here?
Their mother dropped them off. They're just here for the day to celebrate you becoming the King's Claw.
They chose someone else.
What?
What do you mean they chose someone else? They chose someone else instead. Who did they choose? Lord Sigmund Phoenix.
I'm sorry, my treasure.
And then they all laughed at me.
Please, don't be upset. It kills me to see you so sad.
Did you at least enjoy your feast, my lord? Yes, thank you, Lord Greyford. The mutton certainly quells my sadness.
It's just a position, my love. Must you spend all night obsessing over this?
I just can't believe the king would allow this to happen. Lord Sigmund is a traitor to the realm.
Don't you think it's a bit far to call him a traitor, my love?
I may have also called him a clotpo.
Oh, honey.
He surrendered Teehee Fortress for a fancy bucket!
It was a very nice bucket.
Our men didn't die on the battlefield for a wretched bucket! He's led countless men into battle and refused to fight for them. I refuse to support him.
I know, but he's very close to the king and his family. They're more closely related and have spent a lot of time in the valley.
I would too, but they never invite me. One time I showed up and the king's men pretended he wasn't in.
I keep telling you, there was probably no one there.
Their musties were all mounted outside.
Oh, Richard, I wish I could understand why you just can't let them be. If they don't want you on their council, then so be it. You're very beloved around here.
I know, but the kingdom's in great trouble. Our ancestors fought bravely to expand this kingdom's great territory, and now the king's corrupt advisors are losing it all for him. Our lord is right. Only Oho Oasis remains.
Lord Tybalt still continuing the fight. I'm sure he'll keep a strong hold on those lands.
He's the last commander of the glory days, and he's nearing 80 years old. Worry not, my lord. Tybalt's been in the fighting since the Revolution phase. He'll send that Bonnencrop pretender packing.
You just won't rest until the kingdom's safe. My father definitely made the right choice with you.
Thank you, my dear. Before I left, Sigmund said something strange. He told me I didn't want to end up like Prince Joseph.
The king's uncle? who died in prison.
Yes, him. What do you think he meant by that?
I wouldn't worry. Joseph was very unpopular. One time he crashed a council meeting, drunk off his ass, and started spouting some weird farce about continent west of this one. You may enter.
My lord?
Weren't you in the valley a mere 4 hours ago?
Your uncle, the Lord of Waterlogged Marsh, has requested your presence tomorrow afternoon.
Lord Casimir, is he all right?
I believe so, but it sounded urgent.
I'll be there, worry not.
Okay, thanks. By the way, can I use your privy? I'm supposed to be in Desert Hills in like 10 minutes.
Your Majesty, so pleased to find you're doing well today.
Likewise. Lord Silver, is this all of them?
Yes, they were all arrested shortly after the rebellion. The ringleader died in the fighting, allegedly.
I see. What a horrific sight.
I know, so disgusting. Absolutely disgraceful behavior.
I was referring to the peasants.
Oh, yes, I agree. Disgusting filth.
Nothing a queen can't deal with. Let me see them.
Should we, not wait for your husband, our mighty King John VI?
Like he'll get anything done. All right, everyone, listen up.
Damn, she's pretty hot.
Yeah, too bad she's penis. I'd still smash.
Silence! Your queen is talking! Before we get into the painful process, I'll grant you one last plea of mercy. Swear loyalty to me and my husband, go home, and never step foot in this city again, and I'll do you no harm.
You're not the king. Why should we listen to you? You're a woman.
Yeah, man. What are you gonna do? Wrap me in a blanket and hug me to death?
Very well. Executioner?
Wait, no! I wouldn't. The king promised mercy.
He's pardoned them 3 times, once after they nearly sacked the whole city. Enough is enough!
Alright.
You're talking to your queen! Use respect!
Alright, your grace. Forgive me, your grace.
Wait, no! I'll go!
Ah, the horror!
Next!
Please, no! I have a family!
Ah, I'm gonna faint.
Next.
Where is the king right now, anyway?
More wine for the king's claw? Don't mind if I do, your majesty. Watching you, brat! You nearly got undone my show! Why keep him around? Absolute bloody nuisance.
Indeed, one of my boys would do far better than that clotpole.
Nah, he's a nice enough kid, and his dad is an honorable man.
That old bozo ain't honorable. He's a dickless pussy. I can beat him in a duel with my eyes closed.
So how's the war with the Bonencroft Kingdom going?
It's still going on?
Lord Timeboat will hold them off. It'll be fine.
You should get me out there. I'd wipe the floor with them.
Where's your brother today, by the way, Lord Theodoric?
Oh, he had to be somewhere today.
I bet he's seeing a girl.
Nah, he's way too much of a pussy. He's always whining about his honor.
I'd happily trade my honor away for some blue eyes and a fit body.
You'd have to actually have honor for that.
Touché.
Jane! Are you alright?
Not right now, she's resting.
Come on, man, she's my sister-in-law. I just need to know if she's okay.
It's cool. He may enter.
I'm so glad you're both okay.
Me too. I was so worried he wouldn't make it.
Wow.
What's wrong? Is he alright?
Call me crazy, but he has the eyes of a king.
He's beautiful.
The only thing is, however, the egg appears to have damaged your reproductive system.
Excuse me?
She's not dying, is she?
No, but she will never bear another child. Take good care of this one.
But I'm not even 15 yet.
Please don't worry, sweet girl. I'm sure your husband will help.
He's dead.
Ow.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, he got drunk and fell off his musty while riding over a ridge.
I'll pray for him.
Oh no.
Don't worry, Jane. The baby will be fine. Trust me.
How? His father's gone. I've got practically no power. Child mortality rates are lower than ever. The Queen's anti-medicine.
You don't need to worry, Jane. I promise I'll make sure your son has a long and successful life.
You promise me?
You have my word. For you and for Ed.
Yeah. I told him not to drink and ride.
I yield!
What was that? Should have screamed louder. I couldn't hear you.
My queen, you called for my presence.
You took your time, Lord Blaine.
Was distracted by the tourney. Enjoy the show.
The swordsmen clearly aren't giving it their all. Would be far better if their king were here to cheer them on.
You think that guy is going to attend these things?
Oh, I'm aware. You should have seen how he reacted when he stubbed his toe. He nearly screamed for bloody hours.
I have to say, I feel sorry for you. How do you cope with such an utter joke?
My father told me I was to marry the bravest, strongest, most feared warrior on the entire continent. Then he introduced me to John. My disappointment was immeasurable, to say the least.
You got me.
You get used to it over time. My father was also nothing but a bloody joke. My mother assumed power over the Duchy of Bonenrot, while he was rotting in a foreign jail. She always told me it was her duty to make up for his failings. And now, it's up to me to do the same thing for King John, and this wasteland of a kingdom.
Well, you do a hell of a lot better job than the king, that's for sure. Thanks for convincing him to make my father the king's claw over that chump Richard, by the way.
No problem. Convincing him is always easy. I wish I could have been married to a man like you instead.
I would if I could.
Perhaps before John finally bites the dust, I can convince him to make you heir to the throne.
You don't think the Duke of Shepherdland would interfere?
Our bond is stronger than anything that clown can throw at us. Now, hush. No more talking.
Alright, Frost, we're here. You can rest now. My lord, may I ask a question? I told you, Sir Edric, you cannot marry my daughter. She's betrothed to the Duke of Koopa Cross. No, not that. Who is Lord Casimir? My maternal uncle. He raised me after my mother perished, birthing my egg, and my father was executed for treason. He was like the father I never had. I see. How come he spends all his time here in this boggy castle? He caught the plague while in the Frosted Kingdom on the king's behalf. Nothing happens in the Frosted Kingdom! Exactly. No doubt they wanted him out of the way. Why? His claim to the throne is arguably stronger than the king's.
Now this is some good stuff. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Your claim to the throne?
Right. Well, your mother and I go back to Robert III's second son, Sebald. He was killed in the Frosted Kingdom. His daughter, Luciana, married my grandfather, Robert, who was also killed in the Frosted Kingdom. Then came my father, Edgar, and you'll never guess what happened to him.
The Frosted Kingdom?
That's right. Your mother and I were mere infants at this time. So when John Koopa IV showed up with an army and deposed the hated King Richard, we were taken to the Black Tower.
The Black Tower? It's effectively a prison. Why didn't you rebel?
I was busy being 7.
Right.
We were released after anyway. We just had to kneel and say a bunch of oaths and crap.
Do you not still consider yourself the rightful king? Had John IV not claimed the throne, you'd have been Richard II's heir.
I'd probably just bankrupted the realm even more, to be honest. But no, in all seriousness, ruling was just never in my interest.
I see. What are you drinking, may I ask?
Just some Magmore mead, the finest beverage in the realm.
Mead? Uncle, that's hardly an appropriate drink for a 65-year-old.
Calm yourself, Richie. It's only 75% alcoholic. They've really brought it down in recent years.
I received your letter yesterday. Did you fall asleep on the privy again?
No, nothing like that. Could you move that table closer to my bed?
Uncle, do you not understand how worried I was? I thought you might have been dying!
How could I write a letter if I was dying?
Forgive me, Uncle. I just worry for your health. I've worried ever since you caught the plague. Remember Edric IV?
Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself and your own family. I'll be just fine.
You are my family. Everything I am, I owe to you.
Not that weird-ass birthmark on your buttock. That's on your dad.
If you don't mind me asking, Uncle, do you remember Prince Joseph?
Very well, yes. He once fell from his musty and needed 3 Knight brothers to help him up. Was very intelligent, though. He was even the heir to the throne before you. How come?
Do you know why he was arrested?
Not particularly. I recall him screaming at the king for losing territory in Bordenrot. Never saw him again after that. Was sent to the Frosted Kingdom pretty soon after.
Interesting. Hold on, what's this?
Wait, no, don't look at those.
What on earth? Indecent illustrations of ladies in ill-suited poses?
I was kind of hoping you wouldn't see those.
Uncle, this is shameful. Is this what you do all day?
It gets boring sitting in bed every day.
My lord!
Lord Berwick, Lord Torrance, what brings you here?
We've just returned from Torrance's wedding ceremony.
What on earth happened? How'd you get that scar on your face? Is that what that is? I thought it was a birthmark. Not that one, you fool, the other one!
I was getting ready to wed the Lady Stamford, and a group of Blackfoot soldiers suddenly showed up and assaulted the place.
Wait, what?
We escaped the wedding hall quickly before things got ugly, but they butchered the place.
They attacked our men, stole our supplies, they made the wedding feast.
This kind of behavior should not be tolerated in the realm. Does the king know?
Do you honestly expect him to do anything?
I'll travel to Sandcake Dunes myself. Why not? I'm kinda tired. I will not stand by while the king's subjects are mistreated like this. We ride to the dunes at once. Your sons attacked my nephew at his wedding feast.
I see. And, why is this my business exactly? I've got enough kids running around here.
Dad, Petra won't let me use that crossbow.
Piss off, you little demon spawn. I'm in a meeting here.
With all due respect, my lord, those kids ride under your banners. They attack under your arms.
They drink, loot, and fart under my arms too. Think I give a rat's ass what they do?
Fact is, they insulted another nobleman. Sir Torrance Python is a respected member of—
You ride all this way for Torrance Bloody Python? What are you, drunk?
Sir Torrance—
Those pythons have been stealing our lands and castles for years now. We Blackfoots dominated the south before they came along.
That's no excuse to attack a fellow nobleman's feast. I'm starting to think you gave those boys the order.
I did no such thing!
We're back from pillaging Riverside Abbey. Can we get paid yet?
Learn to knock, you waste of space!
You think he's forgotten our faces again? I'm sorry, Lord Blackfoot. I'm afraid there's going to have to be a trial for this. I'm serious. I will not tolerate treason in this realm.
You think you scare me? I'll only be accountable if the king says so. And the king and his claw Sigmund are good friends of mine. Thought so. Boys, escort the Lord of Sherbetland back to the courtyard.
Right this way.
Oh, and Richard, if you see a milkmaid outside, tell her it's the room with the big doors.
I, King John Koopa VI—
The Sixth, your grace.
Oh, I, King John Koopa VI, hereby appoint Lord Blade Phoenix as Captain of Carhar City.
Thank you, your grace. I will not fail you.
Your service is appreciated, Lord Blaine.
As is yours, my queen.
Yay!
Well, well, well. What do we have here?
Hey, cousin.
This kid yours?
No, I just found him outside and thought he looked cool.
Ugh, looks unhealthy. I doubt he'll last that long.
Hey! That's my son you're talking about!
Whatever. I'm heading to Carhar City. Have fun moping over your dead husband.
Jane!
Your Grace! How are you?
It's so good to see you again. It feels like it's been forever. How are things going at Mushroom Meadows?
It's lovely, thank you. A A lot of people are very friendly.
Sweet. Sometimes I wish it was a part of our kingdom. It is a part of the kingdom, Your Grace. Oh, I may have sent an army there.
Excuse me, what is a teenage girl doing on the premises?
Pardon the child. This is my niece, Jane, the heiress to my brother's inheritance.
Right. And what is that?
Oh, this is my son, James.
Oh my god, who's the dad? Is it me?
No, silly, it's Edric's. He was conceived before he died. I wrote to you.
I am absolutely sure none of those letters ended up in the trash.
So, does that mean I have a son?
No, silly, he's your nephew.
Oh my god, he's perfect!
He's... okay, I guess.
You know, something about this child. I just know there's something special about him. He's wonderful, Jade. Thank you for bringing him to see me. I'll ensure he has a bright future ahead of him.
So, who's he gonna go to?
Excuse me?
When you remarry, which I assume you will, given the way you do your hair and your obvious desire for attention.
Excuse me?
You'll have to give the child up.
What?
That's right. The law of the realm states once you remarry, the boy will become a ward of the crown.
And if I don't remarry?
Then you'll be eventually too poor to look after him, and he'll likely die.
How sad.
No, you can't do this! I'm his mother! He needs me!
This is exactly what happened to you when your own father died, remember?
My father died for you! He returned to captivity just so you could be free!
You leave the king's claw alone, you wicked little bitch!
You can't take him away! He's my son! I love him!
Come on, Cinder, don't you think this is a little unfair?
She's a woman in the 15th century. Life is not bloody fair.
Come on, don't cry.
Forgive me, Your Grace.
God damn it, she probably hates me now!
You think I care if she hates you? I'm your wife! Pull yourself together!
Don't yell at me, it hurts my feelings!
Stop behaving like such a pussy and learn to control your subjects! Oh, for God's sakes!
I'll get the beer mug. That usually calms him down. Ha ha ha! So this castle is gonna be mine when I'm older. Oh no. Oh, hey Dad. Ladies, a moment alone with my son, please. I'll write to you! This again, son. I know, I've heard it all before. It's been 2 years since I first asked. Have you really not chosen a wife yet? I just don't really feel like getting married. I don't want to be tied down by some woman I barely know just for some extra land I'll probably never use anyway. You could give the land to one of your brothers? You don't pester them to get married. I get your frustration, but you're the eldest son. Your marriage is the most important prospect for the future of the family. I know, I just don't want to leave. We haven't seen Olivia since she left for Skyland. I understand, the kingdom's in a difficult place right now. Once we're fully at peace, you'll be able to visit your sister as much as you like. Thanks, Father. I wonder if there are any heiresses there that would interest you. It's always gotta be about politics with you. Robert, wait!
No!
Do I get any rest around here?
He broke my blade!
I didn't break it, you swung it at me.
He started it!
Boys, stop arguing. What have I told you about attacking your brother?
Maybe if my brother wasn't such an arrogant tit with the swordsman skills of a blind man, I wouldn't bother.
An egg! I'll cut you! Children, what's the meaning of this?
Toby's being a clotpole again.
I'll get a real blade if you're not careful!
Tell your father the truth.
Fine, I attacked Toby.
Talissa, see to Tobias. I'll deal with this one.
Come, Toby. How about some of your favorite wine?
Yes, please.
So what happened there? Nothing, it doesn't matter.
Just tell me the truth and I won't get angry. What's wrong? Why did you attack your brother?
We were just talking about girls.
Oh no, not you too.
I got onto the topic of Lady Rose Python.
Oh, thank God.
He said a woman like that would never love a freakish loser like me. He said next time he sees her, he'll canoodle her in front of me.
Canoodle, really?
It just made me so angry!
I understand, son, but that's no excuse to lash out and attack him. He's your brother, your family. You need to stick together, especially in times like these.
I know, I just hate the way he looks down on me. Sometimes I feel like everyone does. Listen to me, Rickon. You're my son. All of my children are my legacy, you included. Never doubt that for a minute. Okay. Thank you, Father. It's okay, my boy. I'll admit, I've had trouble holding back anger myself. Like when you called Lord Sigmund a clotpole? Your mother told you guys too?
Hey, Roderick.
Jane, are you okay?
I talked to the king like you said.
What happened? He didn't do anything weird, did he?
Ew, no! They said I have to give James up.
What? But he's the king's nephew!
They want me to hand him over to Sigmund's court.
I can't do that! Who knows what my cousins will do?
You're right.
This all wouldn't have happened if I'd just replaced his beer with juiced apples!
Please, calm down. You're yelling in the baby's ear.
We don't have ears, Roderick!
Yelling still won't solve our problems.
You're right. I'm sorry. I just don't want to lose him. He's my only son, and he always will be.
You don't need to worry, Jane. I'll help you find a suitable new husband. Preferably someone calm, friendly, around 5'6".
No! I refuse!
Come on, it's average height for the time.
Not the height, Roderick!
I'm not giving James over to Sigmund.
They said if I remarry, I can't take him with me!
I won't let them. I'll keep James here as my ward.
Are you sure he'll be alright here?
Trust me, Jane. This child is my nephew. It's my duty. So long as I'm around, no harm will come to the boy.
Thank you so much, Roderick!
It's okay. Don't worry.
Did one of you dudes take a dump in the hall again? I just wish you'd be more open to the prospect of a well-placed marriage.
I understand. It's just Rob, though. He's just more of a warrior.
To lead a good life, you need to be strong both in and out of the battlefield. King Baron Koopa was a great warrior, but his political failings nearly led to civil war.
What do you suggest, then? Just shacking him up with any old heiress and sending him on his way?
No. I just wish he took more of an active role in politics.
I mean, he's still in his 20s. He probably will when he's older.
My love, we bring great news.
What is it, my dearest?
Show him the letter, Torrance.
You are hereby invited to the king's castle for the Love Day.
It appears to be something King John has organized to stop the nobles from fighting.
We look forward to your attendance. Have a safe journey into the valley. Attendance? Hereby? The king can't even spell the word Thursday!
Did he seriously have someone else write the letter for him?
But isn't this great? You're finally being invited back to the valley. This is incredible.
Sweet! I'll grab my crossbow.
Absolutely not. Not after what happened last time.
Come on, I only knocked off his hat.
Unless it's the Queen's way of luring us into her trap.
Oh, come on, Richard. You don't seriously think the king would let her murder you in front of the entire court, do you?
How do we even know the king's not going to be sitting quietly in some bar when we get there?
He makes a good point, Auntie. The king is not exactly known for keeping his word. Not out of dishonesty, more so just stupidity.
Yeah, when the king of Lavender Kingdom came to visit, I saw him chasing ducks around a field.
So what? You suggest we just ignore the letter, then?
Aw, I was looking forward to that.
You could just go for the meal and dip.
If the letter is really from the king, this could be a chance to confront him about his terrible advisors without the court to repel you.
Here's what we'll do. We'll attend Love Day. We'll bring with us a group of 10,000 bannermen. Make sure the kids are all heavily guarded.
As you wish, my lord.
So, can I bring my crossbow?
You may use it for self-defense.
Sweet!
Honey, you know I will follow you till the ends of the earth, flat, round, or whatever the hell we're supposed to believe it is now. But please, don't make this a visit, a political one. Please, think of the children.
I'll do my very best to keep things civil.
Thank you, my angel. You may drink from the big mug tonight.
Now you're speaking my kind of language. I don't get it. I already had a bath this year. Now Mother's insisting we take another? She'll be wanting us to smell nice when we meet the king, no doubt. I've heard so much about him.
I don't see why we should bow to a king who refused to give our father what he deserved.
Because he's the king, Clotpole. I hear his father once fought a battle in a burning cornfield.
Our scales are resistant to flames. That's not all that impressive.
I didn't say Prince Tarkin and his son.
I said resistant, not immune, you jester.
You feeling okay, brother? You seem kinda down this evening.
I'm good, thanks, Rob.
Don't worry. Once we get to the valley, I'll hook you up with a nice girl from around the place. What do you prefer? Blonde or redhead?
Preferably red, I suppose.
Ugh, you guys are such pansies. While you're sniffing around the courtyard like a couple of pages, the killer whale will be drowning in girls. You're a whale, but you're drowning? Oh, piss off!
Guys, Mother's getting impatient. Someone's gotta get in the tub.
Fine. This is so exciting! I can't wait to see Richard and his family again.
Envoy state he's bringing around 10,000 men from his household. His Berwick and Torrance are also accompanying him.
What is taking them so long? We've been waiting ages.
Sherbetland is nearly 200 miles away, Your Grace.
A mustique can travel 81 miles per hour. Can they not go 5 minutes without stopping for a drink?
The hell's a mile?
Sorry we're late, Your Grace.
Roderick, Jane, you made it!
No, absolutely not.
Told you she'd be mad.
She's here to welcome the Duke of Sherbetland's arrival on behalf of the King's Claw.
Where's Sigmund right now, anyway? You know, I kind of feel like we're supposed to be somewhere right now.
Are you kidding? She's not even 15 yet.
So? The Earl of Susshell is here and he's only 3.
No wonder child mortality rates are so low nowadays.
Guys, look!
Richard! Apologies for the delay, Your Grace. Lord Torrance kept needing to use the bathroom.
I warned you I have an astronomically weak bladder.
And this raven-haired lady must be your wife, Lord Richard?
That's right. We've been married for 25 years now.
Tulisa Python, pleased to meet you. Well, you certainly aren't picky when it comes to appearances, are you, Richard? Excuse me? I'm kidding. She's lovely, Richard.
Thank you, my queen. This is my eldest son and heir, Robert. It's an honor to finally meet you, Your Grace. Cool sword! Oh, thank you. It belonged to a famous sherbet king from thousands of years ago. I like to call it Sabertooth. Thousands! Don't be silly. The world's only 600 years old.
Have you not been reading the textbook I wrote for you, Your Highness?
How's a textbook?
Well, I think we've spent enough time out here, don't you?
Berwick's right. We'd best be heading back to the castle. Good call! Don't want to be late for the feast! Brace you back, lest one knows a rotten egg!
That's the king? He's a total joke!
Yeah, I was hoping for something way more impressive.
You shouldn't insult your superiors, ladies. I've raised you better than that.
You didn't say our superiors were gonna be chicken-skinned pussies.
That man someday may be the father to your children. I'd advise you to show some respect.
I fell from my musty! Sigmund!
So glad I could make it, Your Grace.
Come on, let's go get a drink.
Indeed, the king's a total fool. He doesn't even know how to hold a fork properly. No, I'm not saying the queen and I ever did anything, but what I can tell you is that it's definitely the king having trouble producing the air.
Is that oaf still causing you trouble?
Let him be. No one ever believes his rambles.
Does anyone know about the announcement yet?
Not yet, but soon. Just hang in there, my handsome boy.
I look forward to it.
Shh! Keep your voice down.
More wine, Lord Roderick?
It's alright, Corin. I know how to pour my own drinks.
Fair enough. Enjoying the feast?
It's a nice distraction to get people to stop the fighting, I suppose. Say, Jane's a nice girl, isn't she?
Your brother's widow?
Not for me, obviously. But she's smart, beautiful, caring.
Yeah, she seems nice. I like her hair, but father would never approve.
She's the heir to the Phoenix family fortune. Would that not be a nice prospect to him?
He'll be wanting her for my older brother Heron. He's the family's heir.
I think your father would find it wiser to not put all his eggs in one basket.
I'm a little lost. What do eggs have to do with it?
Jane has money, but no power. You have power, but no money. The match is perfect.
I see your point. Okay, I'll talk to father about it. When he's not brown-nosing the king, of course.
Perfect. Oh, and please be kind to her. She means a great deal to me.
You have my word, my lord.
I swear, being the middle child is so unfair. Rob gets to be the heir, Hal gets the earldom of Snowball Park, and what do I get? Just a small dowry of 800 bloody pounds.
Yeah, bro, it sucks. My brother's gonna get to be a duke. I'm stuck as a crappy Marquess.
The world's just not fair to guys like us.
I'm back with your wine, Toby!
Yeah, give me the damn mug.
Sweet party.
Yes, makes a pleasant distraction from the greater issues at hand, I suppose.
That's the king's preferred way of addressing issues. Ignoring them.
I don't wanna know what he does when he needs to wipe his ass then. Watch it, Baldy. You just nearly spilled wine all over me.
Oh, boo-hoo! Why don't you use that gold necklace Grandpa left to cleanse yourself? Oh, piss off, you molding washout. We are king. Use respect. Oh, why should I? It should be you kissing my feet!
Quash your hostility, my lord. That's the Earl of Bristlewood Bay you're talking to.
Oh, like you'd understand. You're in bed with one of them.
What on earth is his deal?
Forgive our half-cousin's hostility. He's never been on good terms with the rest of the family.
Half-cousin, you say?
Our grandfather, the Earl of Sparkling Waters, had 2 wives. The second, far richer than the first. When he died, let's just say Birch's side of the family inherited far less than they had hoped.
I see. Have you tried talking it out with him? Surely he's not that unbearable.
I thought diarrheal diseases I found more bearable than bloody Birch.
Yikes, first the Blackfoots, now your own blood? Any other enemies you want to warn me about?
I got into a fight with this lord at the bar the other day.
Hey, you look lonely.
Oh, thank you.
My father never lets me have this stuff at home. He says it'll ruin our bodies.
Our bodies? Some of these guys are built like a bowl of oatmeal.
You've been on your own for a while.
I've never been as good in crowds as you, brother.
You know you're never gonna get close with anyone if you don't talk to them.
I'm aware, brother.
You've been quiet all evening. Something bothering you?
It's fine. Just look at him. How do these people look at that man and say, yes, this is my king?
That's just the way it is, I guess. His father was king, as was his grandfather. If their position wasn't questioned, why would we question his?
Personally, I think you'd make a far better king than he ever would.
I don't know, bro. My place is more on the battlefield. Besides, John is the rightful king.
I suppose so.
Come on, let's go fill this mug with beet juice and tell Tobias it's wine.
Now that does sound amusing.
Evening, my lord. Not having any wine?
No, Lord Richard. I'm afraid I don't drink.
You're full of surprises, Lord Ironside.
Recovered from the outburst at court last week.
Forgive me, my lord. My behavior was inappropriate.
All's forgiven. Enjoying the feast?
What it's worth, I suppose. Nice to see everyone having a good time.
For now, at least.
What do you mean?
Well, between you and me, Klaus von Speckbaum VII has apparently sent 3 separate armies to our last remaining fortress in Oho Oasis.
Surely the king wouldn't allow this to happen.
Wouldn't he?
Well, that certainly lifted my mood for the evening.
Don't take any notice of Lord Ironside.
Excuse me? Lord Ironside is one of the most respected barons of the realm.
He's just trying to fuel your anger. His family have been close allies with the king ever since his grandfather helped place John IV on the throne.
And you? You've got bloody red eyes. What makes you any more trustworthy?
The name's Lord Gaston Thornton, at your service.
Well, it's good to meet you, Lord Thornton, but I do not have time for this. I must speak to the king before the feast.
I must say, I felt your speech the other day was rather necessary. Lord Sigmund is nothing but a lackey with a dreadful hairline and in honor of a foul boar.
Well, I'm glad someone there at least had the decency to say it.
Indeed, but it's clear the king has no intent on removing him. Perhaps if we work together, we'll be able to replace the king with someone who will.
You think I'll reward you for assistance in usurping an anointed king? Keep your treason to yourself, Lord Thornton. You've been warned.
There you are, my honey. I've been looking all over for you.
Apologies, my darling. I seem to have drunk more than I bargained for.
Are you feeling okay? You sound stressed.
I'm fine, thank you, my love.
The king would like all guests to make their way to the dining table. The queen has a very important announcement.
Wait a second, where the hell's Tobias?
You're such a good kisser, Toby.
Damn it, do you normally do this much talking? Not that I don't enjoy the sound of your voice. Everyone, I'd like to make an announcement. Hello? Anyone?
Everyone, shut up! Go on.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for attending tonight's Love Day. It's been very, what's the word?
Productive, Your Grace.
Productive and a lot of fun. I'm eternally thankful.
I believe the Queen would also like to say a few words.
Oh, yeah, that too. Knock him dead, my wife.
Thank you, my love. Now I'd like to thank you all for attending tonight, as I have an important announcement. For the past 7 years, I've been mocked and shamed for failing to fulfill my queenly duties and produce an heir for my beloved husband. However, through determination and devotion to my wonderful king...
Oh, god damn it, one of my grapes fell on the floor!
That is why tonight, I'd like to announce that after 7 long years, I have finally produced an egg.
Congratulations, my queen.
Thank you, Lord Blackfoot. As you all know, the child will be made the heir to the throne. Hard luck, Lord Richard.
So is that what this ceremony is? Just a way to assert power over me with the new heir to the throne?
Richard, please.
I've remained loyal and I've remained civil, but I will not be treated like this. You want me and my family out of the picture, and this entire Love Day fast is just a way of sidelining my family.
Sit, Lord Richard.
Looks like he hasn't taken his new position on his succession very well.
You laugh at me, but you know it's true. While this night goes on, Klaus VII marches into Oho Oasis with over 9,000 men.
Lovely food, King John.
While we eat, fart, piss and joke, thousands of our own men fight for what's left of our once great empire. Stop arguing, you guys are ruining Love Day! Look around, my king. You've surrounded yourself with a bunch of no-good, dishonorable cowards, and they've pissed on everything your father and grandfather worked for! Are you going to do anything? Anything at all?
God damn it, now you made the king cry. I think it's about time that Lord Richard left.
Frankly, Lord Silver, I'm as tired of your blatant dick-sucking as the rest of us. The Queen doesn't care about you. Shut up!
How dare you talk to me like that? I'll have you know, my grandfather was a Knight of the Hexagon.
Everyone and their mother is a Knight of the Hexagon nowadays. Even the Earl of Sushell.
If you want to keep your life, Lord Richard, I'd suggest you pack your bags and go home.
If you want me out of here, you're going to have to make me leave.
Prince Joseph said very much the same thing. Before he died, that is.
I will not be threatened like this.
Not so fast.
Lay for the tip of that blade on my father and you'll never talk again.
Guards, seize these traitors immediately.
They'll be going nowhere.
You keep your dirty python tails out of it.
Why are you drawing your sword?
I don't know. Everyone else is, though. I hate all of you!
I want no violence, but if I have to use it, I will.
Come in.
Pardon the interruption. Urgent letter from the Bone and Crown Kingdom.
Could someone else read this?
Dear King John Koopa VI, King of the Koopa and Bonnencrow Kingdoms. Ha ha. Or should I say, former King of the Bonnencrow Kingdom. In case you hadn't heard,
Our men utterly destroyed your petty forces in Oho Oasis, and now we've taken it back. Your friend John Tybalt was hit in the face with about 15 arrows before we yeeted his lifeless body into the river. Ha ha, you lost Cope Muld Seeth. Sincerely, Crown Prince Johann von Speckborn.
So, that's it. We lost the war.
Well, I hope you're proud of yourself, you bloody twat!
Don't look at me! Blame the loser who got his ass handed to him and thrown in a river!
I'll have you know, Lord Tybalt was one of the greatest captains of the realm.
Can't have been that great if he died.
King John, are you okay?
My love?
My king!
What the hell's happening to him?
Help! Somebody help the king!